Please work. Please work. Please work. I think it works. I think we're good. Oh my god, there's... Okay, this is double. This should not be double. Hold on 1 second. Okay, there we go. I think we're good. We should be good. Hello. I am so ready for everything to crash in like 5 minutes. 1 second. Let me check something. Let me check something real quick. Just checking. Do I... Speaking of crash, everything might crash within in like a couple seconds for a little bit. If it does, don't worry about that. Just give me a moment. 1 moment. 1 moment. I think... Oh god. If I randomly disappear in a second, you know why. You've been warned. By which I mean I fucked up. We'll see. We'll see. Oh dear god. No, 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 no. You know what? We're just not gonna risk it. We are just not going to risk it. You know what? I gotta bring this thing in for repairs anyway, so who cares if the battery's fucked? Who cares if it's overcharging? I gotta get that thing, like, swapped out anyway. Anyway. Hello. Azaki, welcome in. How you doing? Little, late stream because, I, couldn't stream yesterday because there was a family emergency. So, yeah, things were happening. So instead of yesterday, I was streaming today, a bit later. Even like half an hour later than the already late time because I was experiencing some technical difficulties, which hopefully are now resolved. But we'll see. Again, I never trust anything I say. There is always a chance that this whole thing crashes without warning. So you know what? Fuck it, we ball. Anyway, as it turns out, I think I'm mildly insane because I have not even finished P4G yet, and we're starting a new long game. Ace Attorney, baby. I have played the original, the Phoenix Wright trilogy, like a couple years ago, 5-ish years ago, I think. Absolutely fell in love with it. Absolutely love that one. And I watched someone else play this trilogy, Ace Attorney 4 to 6. So I know what happens story-wise. I know the main storyline. However, so at least I can't get spoiled on that. However, while I was watching, I wasn't paying too much attention to like the trials and like some of the, you know, some of the details. So, while I do know what is going to happen, of course I won't spoil it for anyone who's watching for the first time, but while I do know what is going to happen, the process, I suppose, is going to be partially new to me. Or, well, I'm gonna have to actually think and still figure stuff out myself. But yeah. Let me get another... I've got some strawberries with me. Some straws. But yeah, that, yeah. I'm still gonna finish, Persona 4. I just, I've been wanting to play this game, or to stream this game for a while. And I saw it was on sale on Steam, so I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We ball. And I mean, hey, it still fits, you know? Now I am playing 2 queer games on Pride Month. During Pride Month. You know what? You know what? This is fine. This is fine. We got gay lawyers and we got gay high schoolers. Yeah. Anyway. I don't want to look at like extras and stuff just because, you know, I want to see everything in-game for myself. I don't know if they also... I know this Ace Attorney 4 through 6, at least 5 and 6. I don't remember if 4 had any, but at least 5 and 6 also have cutscenes, animated cutscenes. No, I think it's just for 5 and 6. I don't know if these, if they like, if these are going to be the exact same as like the ones from the old games, or if they, you know, polished them up a bit more here, but we'll see. We will see. Let's fucking go. New game. New fucking game. Here we go. Oh, using my mouse. Turnabout Trump. Episode 1. Also, I hope that the volume is fine. Maybe I do it a little louder. God, this looks really fucking nice. Showdown time. We are gambling. You lose. Oh, okay, sorry. Oh. Well, someone spilled some ketchup. I seem to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that. Dead. Someone hit him. Hard. Me? Please. The cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands, should it come to that. All right. April 20th, 9:37 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Bro, that's the wrong thing. Panicked. Palm sweaty. Mom spaghetti. I can admit it. I'm nervous. I forgot who that was. Good morning! Oh, hi. Good morning, sir. You look tense, Justice. Wound up tight. Wound up, sir. No, I'm loose. I'm fine. That screeching noise, is that your voice? I suppose it's to be expected. God, he looks so fucking handsome in HD. Jesus Christ, dude. Anyway. Your first trial, and it's a homicide. I guess justice doesn't start small, eh? I'm fine. I got up at 5 a.m. to do my Chords of Steel voice workout. I'm fine. That explains it. I did detect a certain rasping quality to your speech. I overdid it again. As you know, your client today is a good friend of mine. I wouldn't want to let him down. If you get my drift. Drift gotten, sir. I'm all over that. I'm all over that drift. As it happens, I dined with him the night of the murder. We can't let this case fall through. Yes. Yes, I'm fine, sir. Ace Attorney investigations being added to the Switch. We finally get Edgy Boy. Oh yeah, I've heard about that! Motherfucking Miles Edgeworth, baby! I can finally play those games too. Also, Bean, welcome in. How you doing? Yeah! Yeah! Fitting day that I start this game today. Howdy, howdy. How you doing? I'm definitely gonna play those games as well. If they're not too fucking pricey, I guess. I'm in pain still? Oh no! Why pain? Nova fucked me up? Oh no. What did Nova do? one more thing. Don't say you're fine quite so much. People might take you the wrong way. I'll be preparing our case. You might want to introduce yourself to the client. My name is Apollo Justice. If it isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney. And today is my first trial. Not that I'm worried or anything. The defendant has been accused of murder. My boss wants to help him out, of course, and so do I. I mean, there's no way he did it. Not him. No way. Hello! Hello, pretty man in hoodie and, weird beanie. I added a specific alert when 690 bits are used. He then spammed it while I was doing boss fights in Kingdom Hearts and I laughed too hard. Oh no. Oh no. Whoa! Good morning? Morning. It's all up to you today. First trial, nervous. Meeting him, cardiac arrest. I didn't hear what the redeem is. Bet I'll check it in a second. I think I'm supposed to say something. Help. So you're fine. I'm fine. Ah, Mr. Fine, is it? Close enough. I did remember you having an odd name. Well, we're off to a great start. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me? Mr. Gavin is a top-notch defense attorney, and he's your friend, so why? You'll see. You can do it. Be confident. I'm really sorry this happened to you. I mean, it's time. Shall we? There goes my laptop. I don't know what... I hope you can't hear that. You shouldn't be able to. If you do, that is my laptop making some weird noise. I don't know if it's dust that's like stuck in the fan or something. But, yeah. Yes, sir. Alright. Let me check those DMs real quick. Let's see here. Jesus fucking Christ, what the- where did they- What in the actual fuck? Okay. Okay. You know what? Okay. That is a long-ass fucking, thing, too. First trial, here comes justice! Courtroom number 2. The court is now in session. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is, fine. I mean, ready, Your Honor. Mind going blank. Don't panic. Too late! Your name was Mr. Justice, and this is your first trial. Yes, Your Honor, but I'm fine, really. Are you quite sure? Your voice sounds a bit strained. Mr. Gavin? Yes, Your Honor. I was under the impression that you would be heading up this case. That was my intention, yes. However, A defense attorney must always cede? Yes, cede to his client's wishes. And my client specifically requested Mr. Justice. Well, of course he wants justice. I love you, Judge. Never change. But to entrust his case to this greenhorn, why? I do not exaggerate when I say that you're the best defense attorney in town, Mr. Gavin. Okay, so Gavin's got trial experience, fine, but does he have cords of steel? Then let's begin. The defendant may enter the courtroom. Let me grab another strawberry. This is truly an unfortunate turn of events. I'm sorry we had to meet again under these circumstances. Long time no see, Mr. Wright. Fun fact, this was actually what made me want to watch/play the Apollo Justice, you know, like Ace Attorney 4 and onward. Like, this was what really got me to it, because I knew about this Phoenix. Couldn't avoid spoilers. So yeah. Yeah. Let's put the past behind us, shall we? These days, I'm merely Phoenix Wright, piano player. Mr. Wright, how could this have happened? I won't speak of it further, then. If the prosecution would be so kind as to explain the charges, Mr. Payne. Ah, man. Good old tutorial man. To think I saw you enter this room a fresh attorney, and now I'll see you leave in chains. Ah, Winston Payne. Subtle as ever, I see. The crime occurred at the Borscht Bowl. For a second I had to remember how to pronounce that word. At the Borscht Bowl Club, a Russian restaurant. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, took the victim, a customer, and he hit him. Wham! On the hat, smack, killed him cold. A customer at the restaurant, you say? And the defendant, you say he was... the pianist for the club, it seems. Phoenix Wright. A pianist. This is the weapon that took the victim's life. A bottle of grape juice. Grape juice is apparently our defendant's drink of choice. Based. Very based. The court accepts the deadly bottle as evidence. Nice. Something to note, Justice. All evidence is filed in the court record. Make a practice of checking it frequently. Court record. Right, I've heard of that. Wham. We got the peeps, we got the items. Let me check. Age 32, 33, question mark, 61. Damn. I'm confident in your ability to handle this. Right, just, yeah, sounds like it's time for some hands-on action. So, the victim was a customer at this restaurant. But just who was this, shady Smith fellow? We believe he was a traveler, Your Honor. A traveler? I should have brought a fucking glass. Well... According to his passport, he had been out of the country for a number of years. He had only returned to this country recently, though his place of residence is unclear. And he had some sort of connection with the defendant. That, too, is unclear at present, Your Honor. We believe they first met at the Borscht Bowl Club on the night of the crime. If they had only just met, then why murder? If stranger, why kill? Perhaps the victim slighted the defendant's piano playing? That doesn't appear to have been the case. No, the motive had nothing to do with the defendant's lack of playing skill. At least not piano playing. I'll let this photo explain what I mean. As we can see, a game of poker was in progress. Yes, at the scene of the crime. Wait a second. Isn't poker gambling? That's a crime in and of itself! Indeed. Indeed, it appears our defendant has fallen to become the basest sort of criminal.
Objection!
I like Kristoff's objection. It is true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim. Yet it was only that. A game. In the purest sense. A competition, Your Honor. A competition. Yes, a test of wits. A silent clash of passions. Only the cards, their backs... wreathed? Wreathed? I think it's wreathed. I'm assuming it's wreathed. In blue flame. Know its final outcome. Come again. The cards on the table had blue backs, Your Honor. I believe the defense was waxing poetic in an attempt to mystify those present. And impress women. That will be our first order of business here then. To find out more about this fatal game of cards. Very well, defendant. You will testify to the court about the poker competition held the night of the crime. My pleasure. This is it. My first trial. Here goes nothing. One second, let me, Okay. I'm a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all. My real job is to take on interested customers at the poker table. The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 cards of decks. Decks of cards. That's all it is. A game. And our customers are happy. Well, that was, kind of a whole lot of nothing. A pianist who can't play piano. Better than a defense attorney who can't defend. Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Right, Your Honor. My first cross-examination. Don't blow it. Are you alright? You're sweating bullets. Bullets? Where? It's a figure of speech, Justice. Your voice sounds strained and raspy, too. My brain feels strained and raspy, sir. You've watched me perform cross-examinations many times. Though you've never done one yourself, have you? Care for a refresher? What to do? Should I ask Mr. Gavin for a refresher course in cross-examination? I got it. No need for help here, sir. I think I've got this one covered. I think you do. Wait. I think you'd better do more than think. You know it, or you do not. I'm fine. The courts of steel are ready for battle. My weapons press and present. Find any inconsistencies, any lies in the testimony, and reveal them to the court. That is cross-examination. Learn it, know it, do it. Inconsistencies. Lies. Phoenix Wright. As if Phoenix Wright would never lie! Ah, man. This guy would never lie. This guy would never bluff. And it's up to me to prove it. The single line, Phoenix Wright would never lie, is so fucking funny if you've played the first 3. Even just the first game. Even the first case, really. The defense may begin the cross-examination. All right. You know, it's interesting how, actually, I'm not gonna comment on that yet. I'm not gonna comment yet. Alright, let's see. Penis by trade. Check on customers. Play a game of poker. And our customers are happy. Okay, what do we have? Wait, actually, let's press everything first. Let's press first. Hold it! You can hardly play? Oh, I play sometimes, when customers demand it. So I play them one song. That's usually all they want. Was that supposed to be a boast just now? The title of pianist is a mask. A respectable face I wear for the world at large. Then why are you really at the Borscht Bowl Club? The BBC. Heh. Anyway. Give me a second. Let me check something. One moment. Okay, I think we are good. Yes. Okay. Jesus Christ, that fucking scares me every time. Then they pay you to just play poker? That would seem to be the case. I am a professional, after all. Bah! Do I take pride in that statement? It's just hard for an honest, hard-working member of society like me to imagine. Yes, your imagination has always been a bit limited, Winston. God, I love this man. What? I've played poker for 7 years in that little room. And I've never lost once. What? You see where the customers come now? Defeat the undefeated poker champion. It's quite a draw. That is, I'm quite a... You sure are, and you know it. Wait, you've never lost once? Not even one time? As I said, I'm a professional. He's played poker for 7 years and not lost once. Is that even possible? Listen, this man's got years of experience in bluffing. High tension bluffing. The room in the crime scene photo is an attraction? It has quite a history, actually. The Borscht Bowl Club used to be a gathering spot for black market types back in the day. Black market? All in the past, things like the black market are only on the silver screen nowadays. Suffice it to say that there were a lot of deals being made under the table. Right there in that room. A smoky room, gambling hoods, you know? Just looking at this picture makes me feel bad. The bosses gather around the table, cutting deals safe from the eyes of the law. Meanwhile, a goon keeps watch through the small window. I can practically picture it now. That window does look like it would be good for keeping a lookout, but a little else. The room had a few other tricks to it, though it was common knowledge to our regulars. At any rate, they come to play poker in a room steeped in history. Despite the dark past, it was all just good, clean fun. Two decks of cards? A simple measure to prevent cheating. If you alternate two decks, no one can slip in cards. There's something else I noticed. In addition to the cards on the table, there are some lying scattered on the floor. Precisely. Cards on the table, cards upon the floor. Each one forming a complete deck. A crime scene painted blue by a sad sweep of cards. It's poetic, really. Incidentally, we used two types of cards at the club. One deck of cards was red, the other blue. As I recall, in poker you make 5-card hands. I could see how it would be easy to cheat. Heh. Yes, a game of hands. Heh. This competition you're talking about, I believe the court understands the nature of the game sufficiently. That's right. It was a simple game after all. Are you sure? Huh. People are not murdered over simple games, Mr. Justice. I mean, to be fair, depending on the person. I don't know, maybe some people probably are. Defendant, you were in the room the very moment that the crime occurred. Yet you claim no connection to the crime. Now that's strange. What's strange? I was testifying about the competition that night. Asking me about the crime at this point is against the rules, Your Honor. Of course, I expected to hear a cry of objection from the defense. Ah! I completely let that one slip by. Don't despair yet, Justice. Sir? Right, there's something I'd like made clear. Namely, your connection to the case at hand. And I'd like to hear it from you. Sure, why not? Very well, the defendant will amend his testimony. Just one little press. And I've got myself a whole new testimony. What I do find interesting about this, and it's really fascinating, that in the first 3 games, you basically play, fucking basically, for the majority, almost every case of the first 3 games, you play as Phoenix, and and you get to hear his mess of a brain come up with stuff. His thought process. And, Apollo's said it just now, like, he thinks that, like, Phoenix would never lie. Like, it's interesting to see, like, this is basically, like us seeing Phoenix as most people would see him. And, like, on the outside, he really does seem just, like, pretty, like, chill, calm, collected. I plead silence regarding the murder, but I will say I never touched the murder weapon. Hold it! Silence! The defendant has the right to refuse to testify. I haven't forgotten everything about the law. But why? That clearly puts you at a disadvantage. And it's your job to turn that around in our favor, yes? Great. Like I didn't have enough to do already. Justice, didn't you detect anything odd about that testimony? Huh? Wait, something he said did ring a little strangely. Just one thing. Now what was it? When you figure it out, I'd suggest presenting evidence. Evidence that contradicts the testimony. A contradiction in Mr. Wright's testimony? Why? I better check the court record. I can't imagine Mr. Wright lying in a testimony. This man doesn't lie! Isn't it a little early to be jumping to conclusions? This is your first cross-examination. Take it slow. If you need more information, don't forget to press. Right. I got it. I'm fine. Let me get another stirab. Alright. Let's see. Grape juice bottle bears the defendant's fingerprints. That is not what I want to do. I wanted to present. I present with art. Okay, gotcha. Fuck, I talked over his first objection. I'm sorry, son. So you say you didn't touch the murder weapon, this grape juice bottle, right? So I said. Something the matter, Mr. Justice? Don't. Too bad our new defense attorney never learned how to play dumb. What's this, Mr. Payne? I examined the bottle in question, you see, and it was covered with the defendant's fingerprints. No need to shout, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine. Ah. Ha. Excess yelling can damage the judge's ears. End our case. But what about my cords of steel? Anyway, what's so strange about fingerprints on a bottle in a restaurant? Well, that's true. The prints alone didn't... Oh, they wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints. Ha! But the fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down. Upside down? What does that mean? It means they were fucking upside down, my guy. It means he was holding... It means he was holding the bottle inverted. And there can be only one reason for that. Yes. To brain someone with the bottle. Well, Mr. Gavin, I think things just took a turn for the worse. Oh, I see no problem, Justice. Huh? The only thing that matters is the truth. There's a good reason for everything. You'll see. Defendant, can you explain your fingerprints on this bottle to the court? I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder. For now. Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case. I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason. Objection! Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something. And what might that be, Mr. Gavin? And there it goes. On the night of the crime, who was it who reported the murder to the police? Reported? Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright, but still, that... Really? Yes, well, according to the case file. The murder was reported from near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone. Near the scene? Let's take a look at the diagram of the murder scene, shall we? The victim was murdered in a small room in the basement 2 floors down from ground level. Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far down. The defendant used the stairs in this hallway to go above ground. The call came from the first floor of the restaurant. I see. And this is the phone that made the call? The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose. Yet he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. And you claim he is being uncooperative? Oh. Nice save, Mr. Gavin. Better not waste this. I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being. Toit? I'm sure no one is more serious about... What was it you said? The defendant was in the room the very moment that the crime occurred. How can you possibly know this? It's a good question. How indeed? The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness. You're as good as they say you are. So someone else was in the room the night of the crime. It must mean they witnessed the crime. Everything up till now has been a warm-up, Justice. Are you ready? Very well. The prosecution may call its first witness to the stand. The witness will state her name and profession. Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness? Right there. Right there, Your Honor. I surmise that she has been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking horns. So I used a little hair gel to relax people. Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, this court will cut them off. Please don't cut off his horns. You are sure? I swear it on my gavel. Please come out. Isn't violence against hair a crime, Your Honor? Well, if you are sure it is okay. I'd do an accent if I could, but I can't, so I won't. Oh. Wait a minute. Would the prosecution care to explain the witness's, paraphernalia? I don't know what that means. Yes. She is a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade. And that would be? My name is Olga Orly. I am employed as waitress in Borscht Bowl Club restaurant. Then why the camera? Of course, it is my pride to serve borscht, that is, naming restaurant. But I also perform, how it is said, other service. I take it one of these other services is taking the customer's pictures? Da. Like, for example, this one. That's the defendant. Indeed, on the night of the murder. Man in white hat is one who has gone kaput. Indeed, that is the victim? The victim. Order! This is quite a piece of evidence to casually drop into our laps. It is same way as I drop cold bowls of borscht on laps of customers. Casually. And the court will casually accept this new evidence. Now, witness, where were you at the time of the murder? I was in the room, the hideout, we call it. Excuse me? The hideout. It is a room where famous gangster bad guy was arrested. His room where murder took place. What? Your look of utter surprise. It is lovely. I will post by courtroom door later for you. Photos will be numbered and you will write which ones you want copy of. So there were 3 people in the room at the time of the crime. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and Olga Orly, our witness. And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means... Very well. Witness, you will testify to the court about that night's events. At night, customer asked me to deal cards for game. It was cold. Both players played with hats on. The victim, he plays the whole time with his head on a locket at his neck. Then, last hand is done. But something terrible has happened. That man flew at victim and is strangling him to death. Incidentally, who won the game? Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith.
Objection!
That's ridiculous. Because Mr. Wright can't lose. Justice. Maybe you can come up with a more legitimate objection. But he hadn't lost in 7 years. Take it from me, kid. It happens. I didn't lose a case my first 7 years as a prosecutor either. Incidentally, I have some evidence here. These are the poker chips as they lay the very moment of the crime. The hand and chips on this side belong to the defendant, Mr. Wright. Those on the far side belonged to the victim, Mr. Smith. Chips, you say? I mean, yes. Imagine that poker is war. Your hand is your army, and the chips are the spoils. I know that. After all, in my youth, I was known as the poker head of courtroom number 3. I think he means poker face. Looking at this picture, it does seem that most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table. Very well. The defense might cross-examine the witness.
Hold it!
You were dealing cards. Do you do this often? I am doing this. If customer wishes it, I serve anything. Borscht, cards, more borscht. It is my work. It's good to hear that it's good to hear of a place that hasn't forgotten the meaning of service. Welcome you to Borscht Bowl Club, where borscht is as warm as the waitresses. Thank you for not handing out flyers during the cross-examination.
Hold it!
It's already April. How could it be cold? At Borscht Bowl Club, we have pride on authentic, rustic Russian restaurant theme. Outside it is city in spring, but inside it is always as cold as Mother Russia. No way am I going there. When it comes to hot borscht, cold is best seasoning. I mean, there.
Hold it!
His locket. I believe it was good luck charm. He gripped it many times as he played that night. Yes, he must have felt as though it may carry him to the moon and the stars. Though if it were small enough to fit around his neck, it wouldn't have much lift. The defense would like a clarification. This is a locket we're talking about. I mean, a pendant with a picture in it, right? Not a rocket. Of course, I knew that. It was probably a pendant shaped like a rocket. That's why she called it that. No, a locket's a locket. Doesn't matter. It's considered bad form to poke fun at the hard of hearing in our society. Hard of hearing or hard of understanding? Ah, love this game. Love this game's humor.
Hold it!
Something terrible? The defense will refrain from needless shouting. Sorry. I need to seriously reconsider this vocal training thing. Now, Miss Orley, can you tell us what happened? Oh, I was so frightened. I trembled with fear.
Hold it!
But the defendant would never do such a thing. Well, now I can't say I've ever heard the defense try this tactic. If possible, please refrain from embarrassing me. Still, why would anyone do something like this over a game of poker? Perhaps it is because defendant has lost game. Yes, a crushing defeat for a man undefeated. So it always is with men like him. Winners make sore losers. Oh, how the mighty fall. Go ahead. I believe you know what it is you need to do. Right, sir. Leave it to me. There are only 3 people. Okay, yeah, we got this. And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer... I've got you now, Orly. Or should I say, oh really? Okay, I believe I know what we got. Strangling, you say? However, I call bullshit!
Objection!
Never mind! Never mind. I said never mind. Unfortunately, I will have you... Sorry. Yeah, okay, yeah. I don't know. I kind of thought I had that, but apparently I didn't have it. Wait, do I need to... I call bullshit!
Objection!
There we go. Oh, really? Strangled, you say? That's odd. Normal customers only choke on borscht. Oh, I love the sprite. No, I mean, this report shows that the victim died of a blow to the head. Ah. Miss Orley, really now, did you witness the crime? Eek! One second, there we go. Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. He's still wearing his hat and everything. Yet it is a fact that he was hit, Your Honor. Here's a photo we took of the victim with his hat off during the investigation. Well, that's quite shocking, isn't it? This head certainly was hit. Photo of forehead. But I have seen it happen. The defendant, he lunged at victim. His neck. Oh really, miss? Oh really? I think I've caught you in your own lie this time. Justice, I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more. What do you mean? I found a contradiction. There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me. Very well. It seems we should continue the cross-examination. There's such a thing as thinking too much. This horse is dead, let's stop beating it. There is such a thing as thinking aloud too much, too. Okay, I'm gonna take a tiny break here. I might try to take like more frequent breaks for streams like this, where I talk, I have to read a lot. Just to make sure my voice doesn't get tired too soon. So, we are going to be back in a little bit, in a couple minutes. Just a couple minutes to rest my voice, get a glass, and maybe get a snack. Yeah, and I'll run ads in the meantime, so you won't get them during. And, nope. And there we go. And I'll see you in a bit. And we are back. Are we good? Are we good? Yes. Okay. We are good. Let's see. Where were we? Now customer asked for more players. Ah! Okay, there's the new, after defendant tried to strangle victim, he hit him with bottle. You didn't say anything about hitting before. So sorry, I must be forgetting this. Witness, you will take greater care with your testimony. I'm sorry, Your Honor. And that clears up the discrepancy with the autopsy report, I believe. The defendant made to strangle his victim, then changed his mind and chose a simpler, blunter means to do the job. Yes, that sums it up nicely. So he strangled him, then hit him. Something's fishy about all this. Go ahead. I believe you know what it is you need to do. Right, sir. Leave it to me. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm assuming it is, this one, in which case... Your Honor, did you know I'm a lawyer? Okay, 2 AM, April 7th. Single... huh? Portugal Club. Half removed. Okay. After defendant tried... Let me how do I save? How do I save? That is not... Let's save. Okay, I could present this because, or do this because at the end, or his locket is gone by the end of this. See, the fact that that this is the new thing makes me think that this is the thing I should like. This is where I should present something. But let me try something. Let me try. I don't know. Would it matter? Maybe I should. Maybe this would be better because you can see it more clearly.
Objection!
Let's fucking go. You know, there was one curious part in her testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. What does it mean? Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what it is you're thinking so intensely about? Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on locket at his neck, I believe she said. I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar. No, but look at this photograph. Do you see a locket on the victim's neck? Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. I knew you'd be able to handle this. But what does it mean? If we are to believe this witness's testimony as is, then the locket disappeared following the victim's death. Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor. It's quite simple when you think about it. If the locket is gone, someone must have taken it off. No? Taken it out? Wait, you don't mean... The defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Would that explain it? Defendant, what do you have to say to this? Say... Yes? I just noticed this, but you have something hanging around your neck, don't you? Oh, you mean this? Yes, it's a locket with a photograph inside. A photo of my daughter. Come again? Mr. Wright, you have a daughter! We confirmed it at the time of the arrest. The picture in the locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter. So, Mr. Wright has a locket too. Why don't I buy that this is just a coincidence? Well, no, if the results of this poker game led to the murder, perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of the game. Further testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost. Badly. Miss Orley, you will testify to the court about the game played between the victim and defendant. The game began with 3,500 point in chips for each man. Now chips come in two sizes, small and large. The one who was winning, it was victim. For last hand, defendant play with all chips on table and lose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs bottle from table and... Indeed, looking at this picture, it does seem to be a one-sided game. As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. Failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow. How many times have I heard these words? I done it in a fit of anger, Your Honor, and now I regret, oops, everything or something. A common tale, but true. Methinks the judge watches one too many old court movies. Mr. Wright said he hasn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong. Okay, let me,
Hold it!
Are those the usual starting points? Were there any special rules used? No, not special. Usual game, usual rules. If each man began with 3,500 points, then the total would be... exactly 6? No, 7,000 points. Please, this isn't calculus. It's not even long division.
Hold it!
Are the chips in this photo all the chips that were used? Of course. That was a reaction. Something's fishy with these chips. Should I press harder? Always press hard. Almost always press harder. Maybe you could explain a bit about these chips? Explain? What is there to be explained? One second. Alright, we're good. Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fish and chips, not a chip of the old block, not a motorcycle cop. Thanks. Now that I've pressed her, I'd better ask something. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars or rubles even? Yet, as I have been saying before, it was game, not gambling. Hard perhaps for capitalists to understand. 2 types of chips. 100 points, 100 points chip, and 1000 points chip. It is not money. Justice. Sir, don't you find her comment interesting? In more ways than one, sir. I haven't added to her testimony myself. Well, does the defense want the witness to add to her testimony? Yes. Yes, I do think this, sir, deserves further scrutiny. Add it. I wish I knew where I was going with this. You're doing fine. Nope. That is dirt on my strawberry. Mr. Gavin said this testimony is important. To be honest, I have no idea why. Mr. Justice, do the court a favor and think of what you want to say before raising your hand. But, Your Honor, that's not how we do it here. That's not how defense attorneys do it. We are not in kindergarten. Sorry, I'm fine. I better think of something to ask. And quick. The 2 types of chips. The small ones are 100 and the big ones are 1000. Right? Right, of course. Don't waste our time. Is that all? Yeah. Great. Mr. Gavin made me stop her, and now I'm the one who looks dumb. Oh, Justice, please try not to embarrass me like that. Huh? Who? Me? There's a clear contradiction in the information you have in your hands. Huh? It's a simple matter of calculation. Go on, try it. We're not in kindergarten after all. Calculation. Calculation, you say? Let's see. So the one with more trips is Mr. Shady. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 6, 9. Okay, I gotta. God, I may be able to speak in English, but calculating stuff, I cannot do that in English. What did it say? Small ones are 100. Fiona, doesn't Fiona. No, wait. Let me check something. Okay, now which one do I present it on this?
Objection!
I do. Nice. You're sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure. It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance at the picture is enough to tell you who won. If you're not in kindergarten. Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court? Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which were worth 1,000 points? Why, the big ones, of course. Duh! Oh, I thought so too. But then the totals don't add up. Oh, right, that was a point with 7,000. Yes. The totals. Let's review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips, and the combined total value of the chips was 7,000 points. If my calculations are correct, let's see, 3 plus 5, carry the 5. They are, Your Honor. Look at this photo that allegedly shows all the chips. If the big chips are worth 1,000 points and the small chips are worth 100, and you add them up, how much is it? Do it yourself. You're not a kindergarten, are you? 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony. But why? How could this be? Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why. Right, there's only one possible way to explain this contradiction. The chip count was wrong. The odd thing here is the... Oh, that's what you meant. Whoops. I thought you meant like the... Why are you asking me? Just in case? Justice, it's your case I am concerned about. If you're wondering about the chips, just look at the photograph. It's all there. Even our judge, with his failing eyesight, could count them. That's not the only thing failing the judge. Okay, yeah, no. Both were right. Each man began the game with 3,500 points. If all the chips are indeed shown in this photograph, then there can be only one answer. What is it? The value of the chips was the other way around. What? Wanna know what I think? The small chips were worth 1,000 points, not the big ones. Madness! Utter madness! Show me that photograph of the chips again. There are 6 small chips and 10 large chips. Why, that does make 7,000 points when you add them up. Excellent work, Justice. It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself. Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it. But wait! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing. Indeed, the victim did have the larger number of chips still. There you go. Exactly. If the small chips are 1,000 points and the large chips are 100, let's do a little math. Add up the points for each side of the table. The victim, Mr. Smith, had 2,900 points and the defendant had 4,100 points. Well now, it seems that Mr. Wright was winning that night after all. That's impossible. My client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning. He was winning, son. Yark. Now, Miss Orley. You must have known the true value of the chips, since you were there at the scene of the crime, weren't you? Nice. It appears our defendant has lost his motive, and Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened. We must now ask ourselves whether we can trust. Excuse me, what is it, Miss Orley? I did not want to be saying this, but actually, you see, see what, Miss Orley? What do we see? In the last hand, there was cheat. I need more water. I need to refill the water. A cheat? You don't mean... a trick? Wait, or do you mean... a scam? They're all the same thing. Yes, there was cheat in last hand. That is why game ends with chips as they are. Right. Just great. First we have lying, now cheating. Well, this case this case certainly has taken a turn. For the interesting. Witness, you will please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating in the final hand. The last hand, both men had full house. There is 4 of each card in deck from ace to king. If you look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. The next moment, the game becomes argument. The defendant's trick was exposed. He took a bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith. Miss Orley, why did you not tell the court about this from the very beginning? I thought I smelled a cover up there. Well, folks, it's time to throw back the covers. A full house is a very high-scoring hand. Not easy to make in my experience. That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics. Mr. Gavin? What's a full house? Lawyers these days you don't know your poker. I can't say this bodes well for your case or career. What is this? Some kind of secret court poker thing? Now I kind of wish we'd see. Now I actually want to see Phoenix play poker. Can we have a poker simulator? Can we see Edgeworth play poker? Anyway. Justice. You know the terms 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 of a kind, yes? Yeah, no problem. 2 cards with the same number makes a pair, and 3 makes 3 of a kind. Good. Now picture a hand with 1 pair and 1 3 of a kind. That's a full house. Doesn't sound very easy to make, does it? You can see each player's hand in this photo. They both have full houses. We forget there's an easy way to make a full house and go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat. The defense may cross-examine the witness. We did cheat in the last hand. That still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand. Who's ever heard of a professional con man losing what they cheat? When they cheat? Just how hard is it to make a full house anyway? It is quite hard. It is making a pair and a three of a kind at the same time. I guess that's right. Very difficult, to be sure. You can take my word as the poker head of courtroom number 3. Very difficult, but is not impossible. Okay, full house, heart. This line of questioning, a waste of time.
Hold it!
4 of each card, you say. There is 1 spade, 1 diamond, 1 heart, and 1 club for each card. It is interesting fact that this number 4 comes from the number of seasons. Huh. Huh, you don't say. Ah, and did you know that the cards are numbered 1 through 13? Add all the cards in a deck and you get 364. A year. I actually didn't know that. You know what? Hey, you learn. Oh, you don't say. Isn't that 1 day short? I mean, yeah, but... I knew that. That's why each deck has 2 jokers. They say the second joker stands for the leap year. Thus, you have a perfect representation of the year, all in a deck of cards. Huh. You don't say. We're going to be in this courtroom for a year if it keeps going like this. How was it clear? Well, the defendant... he played a 5th ace. I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. And Mr. Wright's 2. Obviously, cheating was afoot, or perhaps I should say, a hand. Your Honor, perhaps this can be added to the testimony, without Mr. Payne's joke. Very well. It should not exist, no? I still remember both hands very well. Okay, yeah. Yep. Where'd the card come from? Perhaps we should ask the defendant that very question. Adding cards to a deck is no less serious a taboo than forging evidence in a court of law. Now, perhaps it's time for you to say something, Justice. You bet. I have no intention of staying quiet. Not me. No, sir. I'd better find some contradicting evidence. Fast! Do you recall what the men were arguing about? I believe so. The victim, he shouts, "You are cheater!" And then the defendant shouts something like, "I have objection!" Shouting objection, eh? Old habits are hard to break. First he bluffed his way through the courtroom, now he bluffs his way through life.
Objection!
However, Mr. Wright lost the hand. That seems to cast the shadow of doubt on Mr. Smith. Humiliation from losing even when cheating. That is what set fire to defendant's heart. So what did the flaming defendant do next? By bottle, are you referring to this? The defendant uses this bottle to... His behavior is an admission of cheating by the defendant. But why is a grape juice bottle? You'd be surprised at what can be used as a weapon. This juice is a recommended drink of Borscht Bowl Club. This year's vintage is remarkable for its hefty flavor. And now I kinda want some grape juice. Hefty enough to brain a grown man, apparently. First she says it was a serious competition, now she says there was cheating. Notice anything odd? Her testimony keeps changing. Now she says the defendant cheated. Actually, yes, I had noticed that. Let's get the truth about this cheating first, shall we? Right, leave it to me. Okay. Let's, nope. Oh, there's just... Oh, yeah, there's just 4 here. Okay, I think it's this. Represent. Nope, that is not the right one.
Objection!
There we go. It appears the witness is mistaken. Mistaken? But my name? Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony. That's the photo of the chips, is it not? Justice, perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point out your point. Alright. What particular point contradicts the witness's testimony? I think she said that Smith had 3 aces.
Take that!
Miss Orley, in your testimony you made the following claim. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only held 2. Eek. Well, maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question, but it's not there, you fuck!
Objection!
Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand. Where's this 5th ace? I see cheating, alright, and it's going on right here in this courtroom. 2 aces in each player's hand does make 4 aces total. Hardly proof of cheating. Wait, please. It is true, I have seen it. The 5th ace. There was cheating, I swear to you. That's odd. She must be lying, yet she's the most sincere I've seen her all day. You are right to trust your instincts. Mr. Gavin? Who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion. What might that be, Mr. Gavin? If you don't mind, perhaps we might examine the actual cards. The cards? Mr. Payne. Yes. The players' hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court. Very well, the prosecution will submit this evidence. Which will you examine? The victim's cards or the defendant's cards? If these cards don't prove cheating was going on, nothing will. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious? If Smith was supposed to have the 3 aces, I would say the victims, maybe? It was the victim's hand that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. The defense requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards. Very well. Mr. Payne, if you would. Very well. Well, time's wasting. Get to it, Justice. Yes, sir. When examining evidence, be sure to view it from all sides and angles. Try using... You had to turn it... Yep. Okay, let's do this. Let me, let's see here. Now this... It's a king. A blue king. Right here. I said... Where do I... How do I... Oh, I just... Okay. What? Your Honor, look at this. One of the victim's hands. The back is a different color. That's impossible. But I put that card in Wright's hand. What was that, Miss Orley? No, I merely said I have... Your Honor. Mr. Gavin, yes? Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker? To cheat? I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend. A comrade, shall we say. The dealer. Wait, so you mean... This witness, Miss Orley. She's the cheater. A professional, I wager. Order! Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her. I mean, of her mistake. Your Honor, please recall the testimony we just heard. That's impossible, but I put that card in Wright's hand. Ergo, Miss Olga Orley conspired to cheat, not with my client, but with the victim, Mr. Shady Smith. Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly. Therefore, it is not that hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim. Wait, you don't mean... The defense isn't accusing the witness, Miss Olga Orley, are you? Time for justice. There were 3 people in the room, and if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means... I am. The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orley, of murder. Eek. She's dead. But the borscht is fine. Mr. Payne, where is your witness, Miss Olga Orley? It appears she has lost consciousness, Your Honor. Mr. Justice? Your Honor? It seems you've presented a new possibility to the court. One suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith. And that means... This court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time. What? I did it. I held out. I see no point in prolonging the trial this day. Prosecution will need to make further inquiries.
Objection!
Hey! Mr. Wright? You can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet. What nonsense is the defendant spouting now? Think. One of the cards had a different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means? What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections right when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous! Mr. Payne, you of all people should know, Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculous. That he does. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear up the facts about the game that fateful night. As was said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night. That was said before. The 2 decks at the club have different colored backs, blue and red. 1 color per deck. Why use different colored backs? If we use the same color, the 2 decks might get mixed. You used different colors and they still got mixed up. We used the red deck for the last game. I see, but that's odd. For some reason, I have this impression that you were using the blue cards. Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone said something about blue cards. Whatever. In the end, 1 card of the wrong color got into the mix. Which means there was cheating. Yes, a card slipped into the deck would seem to indicate cheating. Yet this card raises 2 serious questions. Apollo? Yes? Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think. In the last game, when was the card swapped? When? There are 3 broad possibilities. Could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder. Well, yeah, thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was swapped. Oh? It might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne. Or it might not be. I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped? When was the card swapped into the deck? It was... let me save, I haven't saved in a while. During the murder? No. After the... Before? Well, it must have happened before the murder. Do you mean during the game? I wonder. Huh? Why? Think, when you're playing poker, which side of the cards face your... Right. The back. Not something the poker head of courtroom number 3 would be likely to miss. Sorry, let me think about it some more. After then. Perhaps it happened after the murder? What's that? Ridiculous! What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly! Yes, but tell me, how do you swap cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible. Take it from me, son, there's a lot of silly in this world, but very little impossible. Oh, even when the backs of the cards are a different color? If you pulled that during the game, you'd be caught in no time. Quite true. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown. After the murder. Okay, this is going past silly and straight on to crazy. I ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game's over? Who would do that? Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us. There's another. Oops, I almost knocked over my mic. Yes, a simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? Ooh. The game and murder is done. The victim is dead. Only two remain in the room. Alive, that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga Orly. Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card for a blue? I think the most obvious, like, the fact that there is a someone else option leads me to believe this isn't a thing. But I'm gonna go with Orly first. Nope, never mind. Wait, it must have been Olga Orly who swapped the cards. She was trying to cover up evidence of the cheating. That does make some sense. Sorry, but there's a problem with that explanation. Huh. The swapped card was from the wrong deck. Yes, a blue card was stuck into a red hand. Mixing a card from the wrong deck when the backs are different colors. Remember that you're talking about Olga Orly. She was the dealer. Do you really think she would make such a novice mistake? Actually, I have trouble imagining even the judge making that mistake. Okay, yep. Someone else. The one who swapped the cards wasn't Mr. Wright, of course, and, well, it doesn't seem like it could have been Olga Orly either. What are you suggesting? That's hardly a logical conclusion, I admit. As the defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orly at this point. Yes, I know. But she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color card. And if the card was swapped during the game, it would be obvious. Something you'd like to share with the court, Mr. Wright? Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking how much fun all this is. Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the card wasn't the defendant and it wasn't Miss Orly, then who was it? Yeah, well, that is the question, isn't it? Precisely. Huh? I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction. A new direction. We'll find that, indeed, after the murder, someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand. And that someone made two critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us that the first was swapping the wrong color card, because the one who did the swap didn't know two colors of cards were being used. The other mistake was the number on the card. Right, the person replaced the fifth ace with a king. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a fifth ace after all. All they knew was that the game had been won with a full house. So they picked up a king from the table and swapped it in. But there's one problem. According to our case record, this person doesn't exist. True, not until now. But you have to admit the possibility of a fourth person. Though it's more than a possibility. There was someone else there. That night at the scene of the crime. I believe the judge spoke up. I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials ridiculous, Mr. Wright. This trial has proceeded on one central assumption. Namely, that at the time of the incident there were only 3 people in that room. I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption. The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court. I suppose that is a problem, yes. Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess. Certainly, Your Honor. Very well, the trial will resume in 20 minutes. That was quite unexpected, That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. To suddenly claim there was another person at the scene of the crime like that. I must ask, is it the truth? Well now, I think you would know the answer to that. Ah, being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I have no time for mysteries. I only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. I see you haven't mellowed out one bit, Kristoff. Justice? Yes, sir? The judge has summoned me to his chamber, so carry on without me. You did well, Apollo. Can I ask you something? Sure. That locket you wear, is that really yours, Mr. Wright? Ah, you're wondering about the victim's disappearing locket. Here, you can take a look at it. That's a picture of my daughter in there. Oh, she's so cute. Look at her. She's adorable. I'm just surprised to hear you had a daughter. Most people are. Perhaps you'll meet her one of these days. One more question. The one who cheated that night, was it you? What do you think? Huh? You know what happened 7 years ago. What I did. It's not unreasonable for you to think I might cheat. I never, honest. But it is odd that he managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years. Wanna know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker. Huh? You see, poker is all about reading your opponent. In that way, it's a lot like a court case. Poker is like trial law. Figure out what your opponent is thinking and you win. Well, yeah, but that's harder than it sounds. I think not. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information. You're kidding! That witness, for instance, Miss Orley. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. I did not pay attention. I know that's a part. I know this case, and I should have paid attention to that. Well, did you notice? I did not. I totally forgot that was a thing. No, come on. Who noticed that? Words, habits, twitches. It's all information for the reading. That's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass the secret on to you. Someone. Someone. But I'm not worthy. I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals. No. You can do it. Ha! You just don't know it yet. What's he talking about? But you will. Soon. Ah, almost forgot. One more thing about this case. You should know I haven't told the truth to anyone yet. Ah! I knew it! I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. And Apollo, I need you to be there, defending me. I need your power. My, power? I had no idea my cords of steel were that special. It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best. Getting a to be continued on a first case, on a tutorial case, is wild. That is wild. Looking at the first cases in the first 3 games, like those were easy for the most part. And then you get this. I mean, actually wait. The first cases in Ace Attorney 1 and 2 were easy. The third one had some more to it. But still, they were not like this. Oh my god, it's already... Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, I can sense my voice starting to go. So I think I'll leave this here for today. Considering it is also a late stream, it is already 9:30 over here. Luckily, I've had dinner already, like right before stream. But yeah, I think that will be it for today. Return to game. Okay, it's nice that they give you like this prompt. But yeah, I think that's it for me for today. Hi. What was I gonna say? I might continue this tomorrow. I do want to at least finish up this first case next stream, definitely. And I think I can stream tomorrow. That should be fine. Unless, wait, isn't tomorrow HSR? I think tomorrow is the HSR update, or tonight. Actually, that might... Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. If I don't stream tomorrow, then it'll probably be Thursday. Either tomorrow or Thursday at the usual time again. So sometime between 4 to 4:30. My time. European time. Central European time, whatever. But yeah. That's it for me today. Take care. Stay safe. Do the self-care things. And yeah. I will see you either tomorrow or Thursday for probably more Ace Attorney. Probably. Yeah, I think. And yeah. I'll go I don't know. I'll go do stuff. Anyway, enough. Goodbye.